Hey angels, it's your girl Touched by Ty, aka Ty here. And if you're thinking about going to cosmetology or esthetician school, watch this video first. Cue the intro. Hey angels, and welcome back to Touched by Ty, aka TouchedByTyBeautyCo, Talks with Ty the podcast, all things Ty. It's me, your girl Takia, and I am back with another video. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time joining us, what took you so long to get here, girl? Okay, listen, do us a favor, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that bell, because you are officially home and I am so happy to have you. I have been delaying this video for a while, but I definitely wanted to get into it. Okay, let's talk about going to beauty school. Now, if you've been following me on this channel for a while, you know that I have attended both cosmetology and esthetician school. So I want to talk about what school is all about. I think that a lot of people, they start school and they really don't know what they're getting themselves into. They look at content very similar to the content that I have or content that other content creators make, and they have this misconception about what they are going to experience for beauty school. So I wanted to give you some tips about how to go about possibly finding the school that fits for you, and just some questions that you want to ask throughout your beauty school finding journey, because you definitely need to know how to ask certain questions. All right. Okay. First things first. Number one, do your research. And this is what I mean when I say do your research. You're going to come across a couple of schools probably in your geographical area. Look up those schools, okay? Do your research. Put them in your Google bar. Put them in your YouTube channel. Put them in your TikTok search bar. Find out what's out there about these schools. Now, with that being said, each school is going to be different. You have school brands, i.e. Paul Mitchell, Aveda, Ogle, right? You may have a cosmetology program that's in a community college. That doesn't mean that it's not a good program, all right? It's very important that you do your research on these schools. You have to do the research with understanding, and this is something that nobody's probably going to tell you. School prepares you for state board only. You're not going to go to school and become this six-figure lash tech. You're not going to go to school and become this six-figure extension specialist. You're not going to go to school and become this six-figure hair colorist. It's not going to happen. What school does, and this is for both cosmetology and esthetician school, is it prepares you for state board. So it's very basic, very bottom line. All right. So with knowing that, you want to be best prepared as possible to go before your state board in order to get your licensing. So you want to pick the best program possible. These schools have to sell themselves to you, not the other way around. And keep that in mind when you are looking for a school, when you're going on a school tour, okay? Which brings us to number two. After you have done your research and you've picked 2 to 5 schools, I'm going to say at least 5, okay? You want to tour these schools, okay? You want to see what the facilities look like. You want to see how the class structure is set up. You want to see the tempo of the school. Do everybody look stressed out? Is everybody angry? Is everybody miserable looking? You know, you want to see what it is that you are investing in, because school is an investment. I don't care if it's at a community college. I don't care if it's at one of the big 3. It is an investment. It's an investment in you, and you're going to want your turnaround on your coin. Okay? So when you go, make sure that you're very observant. Take this time to ask all the questions that you want to ask. Even take the time to ask some of the students. Now, It's a catch-22 with asking students questions, but at least you get a feel for the tempo. Some schools are going to enjoy the journey. Some students are going to really enjoy their journey. Others may not so much. School is what you make it. It's what you make it. If you go into a beauty school and a person is telling you the school is absolutely horrible, it's terrible, this, that, and the third, ask them questions like, why? Why do you feel that way? Why has your experience been so terrible? Which brings me to number 3, attendance. And I know if you've watched my video, you have probably watched several videos by now, okay? Attendance, attendance, attendance. Do not go out here and sign up for any cosmetology or esthetician program and you cannot be committed for at least the next 6 to 12 months, period. These programs are fast-paced programs. Fast-paced meaning you miss a day, you miss a whole section, okay? And you don't want to miss school. Again, this is fast-paced learning. So you have a lot of information to cover in a little bit of time. You're only cheating yourself if you're not in school. So I don't think that this is stressed enough before people start school. They come to school and they think, you know, oh, I don't have to be here. I can make up the hours. Yeah, you can make up those hours, but those hours add up quickly and you do not want to find yourself in a bind. Trust you me, this is business, y'all. School is still business. And the longer that it takes for you to finish, the more money that you have to pay. Make sure that you're able to plan your life in accordance with your goals. If cosmetology or esthetician school is something that you want to do, take your time and come to school every day. Yes, lifes. You got to think. Esthetician program, maybe 6 to 7 months. Cosmetology program, and I'm talking full-time. Okay, as a full-time student, at minimum 7 months for esthetician and at minimum 12 months for a cosmetology program, right? Life is going to life within that time, but you have to be committed to your goal and remember why you started. All schools are on a time basis. You do not want to put yourself in debt or in a bind because life is life in. I'm just saying, I've been to 3 schools and I have seen it happen. Don't do it. Go to school every day. If you don't have to miss, don't miss. Yes, it's going to be times where you get bored. Yes, it's going to be times where you get frustrated. Baby, stay on that clock. Stay on that clock so you can get up out of there, okay? Do not sign that contract if you cannot commit to the time that is required to finish the program. I promise you, you don't want to take a LOA. You don't want to take a leave of absence. You don't want to start something like this and not finish. You want to push all the way through this thing. Trust me. Don't prolong the process. It's not worth it. Go to school. Now, we're on number 4, policies and procedures. A lot of students do not read their contract. Read your contract. You want to know what you can and can't do as a student. You also want to know what you are waiving as a student. Once you start school, once you clock in, once they take your fingerprint or your wrist print or whatever it is that your school does, you clock that initial time, you have officially started. Make sure you are reading and you know the policies and procedures for the school in which you are attending. A lot of things are written in that fine print. And sometimes you don't know until you have an issue and you go to challenge the issue and you may have waived your right to something or signed something stating that you're opting out of such and such. So just make sure that you read your contract. And if you don't know how to read a contract, get with someone who does. Do not sign that contract, okay, until you have read it. They're going to send it over to you. Hey, we need the contract back. Look, okay, let me read it. Ask questions about the policies. Read the student handbook. It's very important. It's an exciting time to be signing up for school. I know, I get it. I've done it 3 times. But you want to know what is available to you, the resources that the school may or may not offer. I attended 2 schools where we had a student counselor on campus. My last school that I attended, we did not have that. So it was very different because students didn't have that liaison between themselves and administration, just to cross those T's and dot those I's. So if you were not responsible enough to keep up with your time and to make sure that you're turning in all your assignments and to check your student app, you could easily fall behind, because if you don't have that liaison saying, hey, you're in the red on this, you're in the red on that. And that could be a big deal for some students depending on how you operate. So make sure that you're reading your handbook and that you please, I cannot stress this enough, read that contract. Always know your contract is going to have a start date and an end date. You need to finish school by that end date. In very fine print on 95% of contracts, if you don't finish the school by that end date, you're going to be charged per hour until you complete the hours required by the state. The school is not liable to tell you that. It's in your contract. And if you sign it and you don't know that it's in your contract and the school hits you with a bill, it's on you. So make sure you read your contract, you read your handbook, and you know and understand the policies, okay? Again, kits were included at 2 of the schools that I went to. At my last school, we could either purchase their kit or we can opt in to create our own kit. Guess what I didn't do? Read my contract. And I ended up having to take out a loan to cover the cost of a kit, when I just could have created the kit had I read my contract. Now, I had been to 2 previous schools, so I just assumed that the kit was included in the cost. Well, it wasn't. That's no fault of the schools. I should have read my contract. So I'm only telling you based off of experience. Please read your contract. Don't sign until you do. Okay, so I'm not sure what number we're on, but whatever number we're on, let's talk about it. Find out. You're probably not going to see a lot of videos say this, but find out about your school's placement. And when I say placement, I mean their after graduation placement. Y'all, it is hard to find a job. And if you are not intending to go solo, which is also very difficult, you need to make sure that you're getting with an alumni who has a really good rapport with companies and could pull you into jobs. A lot of times, a lot of people don't ask those questions, but you want to make sure that your school is community driven, that they have relationships with local salons and businesses, and that those salons and businesses have good relationships with that school, because you want to be able to get recommendations and you want to build a rapport with your community if you're going to be transitioning into working out in town or out in your community. You want to be able to build a rapport. Get with your teachers, your educators, your administration. Ask them about their contacts out there. Like, that's important for you. You want to get plugged in. This industry is all about who you know and what you know. All right. And you want to have good and positive relationships. You are your brand in this industry. How you do things, how you show up every day, or the lack of, says a lot. It says a lot about you and the people that you're connected to. So ask about the job rate, like how many of the students get jobs after they graduate, who stays within the industry. This industry is a very fast turnaround. 80% of the people that you go to school with are not going to follow through with what they did in the program, and it's just true. Only 20% of the people that you go to school with, including or disincluding yourself, are gonna go get their license and stay within the industry. It's highly competitive, and the turnover rate is high. Man, if this is what you want to do, I'm telling you, go for it. I absolutely love being in the beauty industry, and I really couldn't see myself doing anything else. Am I coming up on a hard time? Yeah, the economy isn't the best. We all know what's going on in the world right now. But if you believe in it, baby, let me tell you, keep going. Your girl been out all day looking for a job, and even that's hard. And I'm a licensed professional and experienced professional. So I'm just letting you know, like, solo isn't for everyone. Going solo is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And nobody really shows you everything that they go through. It's hard, y'all. Stay encouraged and keep going. I hope that these tips and tricks, not really tricks, but just tips on how to go about picking your school really help someone. Like, I didn't know this. I kind of learned a lot of this as I went. Blessed enough to have social media now where people are really like showing their journey. But I tell you, no two journeys look alike in this industry. What somebody else's experience may be is not going to be yours. A lot of young ladies tend to go to beauty school. You may or may not know, your girl is in the 40 club, okay? Officially. And it was a different experience going back to school for me. You got to think, this is my second career. I'm retired Navy. So coming back to school and then doing it 3 times, it has been well worth it for me. And I have had a really good experience and met really amazing people each time I attended school. And it's not that I didn't have bad days. It's not that school didn't sometimes get on my nerves, because it did, but it was all about what I got out of it and what I was willing to put into it. So I challenge you to put forth your best effort and to get all that you can, okay? School only prepares you for state board. You're not going to go to school and learn how to do a sew-in. You're not going to go to school and learn how to do extensions. If you have an educator who specializes in that and they are willing to teach you that, you are blessed. If you have an educator and you're in esthetician school who does lashes, and they're able to teach you that, you get double the portion, okay? But understand, that's not what school is about. So if you are a lash tech and you're looking into going into school, I'm going to tell you to go into an esthetician program. Yes, you can go into a cosmetology program. Cosmetology covers aesthetics as well, and being a lash tech. But if all you want to do is lashes, you want to cut that time in half of school, go to an esthetician program. Depending on your state requirements, you may have to be licensed to do lashes, and if so, do an esthetician program versus a longer cosmetology program. With what I did, it kind of worked out for me in the end. When I started, it was all about hair for me. I knew I was going to cosmetology school. I knew I wanted to be a licensed cosmetologist, so I started that program, okay? I became lice certified, and then I went to get my license. Life happened for me, okay, after school. I moved back because I didn't hold my license long enough in Texas. I had to go back to school. Luckily, I had my GI Bill, right? Went back to school, and life happened again. I came back to Texas, which is a blessing because I was able to use the license that I already had. Said, I don't know what I want to do yet, so I'm going to go back to school for aesthetics just to get certified, just to get the level of knowledge. Because for a cosmetology program, yes, you do learn how to do a basic facial, which is what is required for state board, but you really don't get to learn everything that estheticians learn. And I was fortunate enough to have the funding to be able to go back to school to get that extra credential, and that's what I did. Hence having me here being a full-time esthetician. So I am a licensed cosmetologist who specializes as far as hair, natural hair and extensions, and with skincare, corrective, preventative, and anti-aging skincare. I did not have to go and take my state board for my esthetician because under cosmetology, aesthetics falls under that in Texas. So even though I'm certified, I did not have to go back and take another license for that program. I hope that wasn't too confusing for you guys. I'm licensed already by the grace of God, so I didn't have to take a state board. Could I have went and taken it? Yeah, but am I? No, I don't need to. I'm already licensed. So if you want to do something in the beauty industry and you don't know what you want to do, go to cosmetology school, because then everything falls under the bracket of cosmetology. So yes, you're going to do mostly hair while in school, but if you choose to pivot in your career, or you want to pivot like myself into skincare, you can do that without having to retake a test. All right. So I think that that's all I got. And again, I hope that this video was helpful. Y'all, take your time in picking your school. It's your future, okay? And it's your journey. Don't let anybody else determine what your journey is going to be like. Don't get so caught up in the naysay, the he say, she say, that you forget that this is about you. Cosmetology school, esthetician school is about you. What you put in is what you get out. I've been to the big three, and I can honestly say I have enjoyed all three schools. And I will do an upcoming video breaking down the difference, positive and negative, of all three of those schools. I will catch you guys in the next video. I hope that you like it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and bell, as we will be coming to you with videos weekly. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Yeah.